we have Crimson Queen live at the Whiskey A Go Go. This was in January 2020. Let's go take a look at it. Hey there. Good to see you. We have, I had it in my head, put there mostly by you folks, to go through the Queen of the Murder Scene album. And I'm going to go in order. And we've already done Dust to Dust. I'm going to try to pull all of these live performances. But if we can't, we can't. And we'll go with a recording. But it has been suggested to me that because it's a concept album, it's best to listen to this in order. So I thought we might try to do that. And also today we're going to take a look at Ale's rig rundown from prior to when she received her Spector Bass, and we're also going to watch her receive the new Spector Bass. And we can get an idea. Now we can't say definitively that this is her equipment set up now, but we can at least look at it and maybe get a mindset from her of what she's thinking about when she's playing bass, which is very important for us to know if we want to understand better how this band approaches what it does. So let's go ahead and take a look at this song now. This is from the Whiskey A Go Go, and if you know anything about the Whiskey A Go Go, it's been around since the early 60s. Many great and legendary bands have been through this nightclub. And to be invited here is quite the honor. In fact, I know the Doors have been there. I know Alice Cooper's been there. AC/DC's been there. Guns N' Roses has been there. And I think Van Halen was a house band here for a while. And they feature mostly Southern California bands. To be invited to play here is hey, this is a real feather in your cap if it happens. So it's good to see him here. Let's take a look at this performance of Crimson Queen, and we'll talk about it in a minute.
There's something that you make me feel. Can't put my finger on it. The feeling leaves me trembling. I don't know what it is that you do. Makes a spark but doesn't stop. The conundrum in my heart. I know love shows in mysterious ways. Still my screaming makes no sound, just silence at the roundabout. Yeah, there is no rose without its thorns. Wrinkled fingers are just part of the ways into the heart. I can't always be there to stop all the bleeding. Your words are misleading. There's more to it than just wishing to be found. 'Cause you are used to dance always leaves me in a trance. What's the reason for that smile you wear? Wishing that it was for me, never made me feel so weak. I can't always be there to stop all the bleeding. Your words are misleading. There's more to it than just wishing to be found. 'Cause you are my fantasy. I don't know what that means, but I know that you amuse my soul. So here's to loving you. Raise the glass in front of you. Drink for me, for me. I'll be your crimson queen. Thank you.
All right, that was way cool. That's a very difficult thing to do that Danny's doing there, and that is to be so out front, so exposed, so vulnerable. Excuse me. It's that time of year. I noticed that she's a very she's an excellent singer. She's pushing out her vocals from the diaphragm. There's absolutely was no throat singing in that at all. Nothing from the lungs. It was all from the diaphragm. Very deep, very powerful. If she wanted to, she could have gotten a lot louder than she did, I think. I felt. I see she's playing an Ovation. I've always loved Ovation. I got a soft spot for them and their acoustics. And I saw that she's using the Line 6 pedal board. I understand why she went to the Kemper because, I mean, I used to cuss my Line 6 pedal board. I loved it because I could set up a song, an entire series of songs in advance, but it was sometimes clunky, I mean, I think it's because it was, an early design, and they had several models of that pedal board, and it got it got to where they weren't exactly alike. They looked alike, but they didn't act the same, and so you were constantly it would always be specific to your pedal. When you had a problem or a question that you wanted to ask online, you had to be, well, I have the express, or no, I have the full complement. And so I think that might have been part of what motivated her to move that profiler. And if the profiler does what one of the commenters says it does, and I have no reason to doubt it, then it's far superior to what that Line 6 would do, because the Line 6 is simply a modeling. It's modeling something. Somebody's pre-programmed it in there. It's digitally programmed. And what the profiler is doing, my understanding of it is, from the explanation, is it is actually sampling the sound of for example, her studio sound, and it absolutely reproduces it right there on the stage. So that's way more impressive. You don't have to sit and fiddle and fool around. You can just punch in what you want. So that stage here. This kind of setup is just about perfect. I love playing in a setup like this. You've got a big enough crowd that you get a good door. You get you got plenty of room for the crowd to enjoy themselves, and the nightclub gets good business. Yet the stage is large enough, and the acoustics appear to be, from what I could see, well thought out. And surely they are after 60 years of existence. I'm sure they've heard from every musician that went through there. Hey, I don't like this, or change that, or so. You've got curtains to muffle the sound behind the band, and I'm sure to cover up things they don't want you to see. And out front, it looked like the walls are covered. I can't tell that for sure from the darkness. But instead of just being, solid stone walls or whatever, or even wood paneling type, it looks like they've got good sound coverage in this nightclub. It sounded great, absolutely great, especially for a nightclub recording. So they know what they're doing here. And I don't know if they had to use a house engineer or if they brought their own, but either way, that was a really nice mix. So I want to see what Ale was doing there. And these links that we're about to watch come from Crash66, who gave us the earlier link for Danny's rig rundown. And also Kevin the truck driver 353 jumped in and gave us the same links. So I want to shout out to both of you for giving us this. I love watching musicians talk about their equipment, and to see what they like to do. And who doesn't, right? So let's, well, I imagine there's somebody out there that doesn't, but I don't know them. So here we go.
Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing an equipment rundown, so hope you enjoy it. So guys, this bass was gifted to me by a fan called Thomas Elgin, and I'm honestly so grateful because this bass honestly changed my life. I had never really grabbed like a full-length bass until Thomas gifted me this bass, and once I plugged it in, oh my god, I just completely fell in love with this bass. So guys, this bass right here is a Euro 4 bass, and honestly guys, the sound this bass can produce is just amazing. It's such a powerful sound, yet such a clear and defined sound. It just sounds so good, and I am so proud to say that I am part of the Spector family. And yeah. So guys, there's one last thing I want to tell you about my bass. This is not really like sound wise or anything, but Thomas, once again Thomas, gifted me these little like lights that you can like put on the side of your bass, and it looks really cool. First of all, it looks like really cool when we're playing live, like the little lights moving around. And also it helps me, when I can't really see anything live, it helps me, put my play where I need to play. And yeah, these are really cool, and I really like them. Moving around, you can only see like the little lights, but it's okay. You see guys, these are like super cool. It's really cool when like there are no lights on stage and you can only see my bass and I'm playing. Oh, it's really cool. I wanted to play something guys, but I can't really record and play at the same time. So here, woo, it's just me. So guys, these strings I use are by DR, and I use them in the model High Beams. These strings are so amazing. They have a very bright sound, not very harsh, not a very like harsh, bright kind of sound, but just bright enough, if you know what I mean. And the best part of these last so long without losing that nice bright sound that they produce when you first put them on your bass. So guys, next I'll be talking about my pedal board. Yay! So guys, this is my pedal board. There's not much to it, but still, I'll explain. This is the wireless system I use for live shows. This just activates the wireless system, and deactivates it. So when it's red, I can use the wireless system. When it's green, I just use like a normal cable, right? This guy right here, I recently got this. Right now, I don't really use it that much because for live shows, I don't really use any effects. I use a clean sound. But this will come in handy for the next album because the next album the bass does have like a ton of effects. So that's why we actually got this. Right now, I only use it as a tuner, basically. But yeah.
Okay, now we're going to take a look at the new bass here. We sort of just went into it. I didn't expect that to end so abruptly. So here we go.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Taylor with Spector Bass. Today I'm up at the USA Custom Shop up in beautiful Woodstock, New York, and we're going to be delivering an awesome bass to Alejandro Villarreal from the band The Warning. So I'm here with Chris Heitzman, who's the shop foreman up at the US shop. And Chris, what can you tell us about Ali's bass here?
Well, we got one of the most spectacular Buckeye tops we've ever done. It's sort of a take on our Inferno red finish, but Ali had this vision of sort of more of a burning coals look, fading to black around the edges and up the back of the instrument.
And then we got a nice little custom inlay, right?
Yeah, this is her band's logo. And we had that custom done in mother of pearl. Came out great, and especially on that ebony fingerboard.
Yes.
Really sets it off nicely.
This is the first time Ali's going to have a USA Spector, so we're extremely excited. Very proud to have her on the roster, and so let's pack this baby up and get it down to Jersey. So we're in the hotel. We're about to hand the bass to Ale. Let's go show her this beast. Hello. Hello. What's up? Oh man, I'm so excited. How are you, Ale?
Oh my god! It's so beautiful! So pretty!
You guys should be really excited too. This is a great moment for you. I wish I could like high five you, but I'm just like virtually do it. Yeah. Maybe we could do like a TikTok thing. I haven't seen you guys do that. I don't know. Alright, mission completed. Yeah. Yes. I'm so happy. Thank you so much. I'm so happy. Yeah, Dennis. Nice.
That was a beautiful, beautiful bass. You bass players out there, chime in and tell me what you think of that instrument. I was impressed with the high-class look of that bass. That finish was, I've never seen anything like it. I mean, maybe a tiger stripe or something, or a curly maple, but that was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful. And in addition, what made it so classy was the single inlay with the Warnings symbol in it. I expected it to be all the way down the fretboard. When she held it up, I could see that it was just one of them. Third fret? I thought that's pretty cool. So I like that. And did you check out that road case? It looks like you could throw it off a 10-story building and it'd keep the instrument safe. Pretty nice road case. So I'd like to check out more about Spector. I went ahead and subscribed to their channel so I could see what else they like to do and who else they have on their roster. So that was beautiful. I didn't expect Ale's rig rundown to be, overly complicated because she is a bass player, and bass it needs, unless you're Geddy Lee, you only need 2 or 3 different sounds or attacks when you're playing straight ahead rock and roll. But it's amazing to me that with her simple setup, she gets the sound that she does. It is so smooth. It's very reminiscent of a jazz style. Speaking of that, in the comments, there was some discussion about whether or not Danny had been stealing Ollie's picks to use, and I believe that's actually true. However, the pick that she showed us, somebody thought maybe she misspoke and said it was a jazz pick. In fact, it is a jazz pick. It is made by Dunlop, which is the only pick I've used for years. I like their picks. I use a 73 because it splits the difference between lead and rhythm for me, for my style of playing. And what she's using is, a very custom. I think that thing was like 4 of them in a pack was like $20. So I mean, it's not a inexpensive pick. But they used to make this kind of a similar pick back in the '80s that I never I never signed on for because I couldn't hardly use it, but I had to try it, and it was a stone pick, polished stone, and I'm trying to remember who made that, but I can't remember now. And it was a very heavy, very unwieldy pick to use, but I thought, well, do a lot of if you do a lot of fill work, or I mean, I could see some unique applications for it, but it wasn't something that a guy in a power trio would use because it was now. So how she's using that large, fat, indented pick, I'll have to pay attention from this point forward to her right hand and see what she does. Also, am I seeing it backwards on the video, or is Ale left-handed? Did I just now notice that? I mean, I'll check it out, but it looked like that was a left-handed setup. So, I mean, it's not a big deal, but I was surprised that I didn't notice that before. So, also, if you see a thanks button down there, I'm not yet monetized, but y'all are beating down the doors to make it happen, and I appreciate that very much. But I could use a few upgrades here so we have a better looking what we're doing, what we're trying to do here. And so if you have the ability to hit that thanks button and help me out, with a 50 cents or a buck or something, that'd be great. Also, I'm setting up a Patreon channel, but it's not ready yet. Even though it's open, it's not yet ready. So as soon as it is, I'll put links in for it, and you can go there and watch videos without advertising interruption if you don't have premium already. If you do have premium, I'll probably add benefits, like if you ask for request a song on the Patreon as a paid member, you will get your first choice, and you'll get a choice every month that absolutely happens whether there's room on the list or not. So I'll set that up. These kinds of channels don't bring money in even once they're monetized, because copyright claims take the money. So I'm doing this for the music. I wasn't doing it for the money, but as we're growing here, I would like to have a better look, better backdrop, better lighting. I think you can see these are issues. So if you can help out, great. If you can't, that's fine. It's Christmas. I get it. Wait. Do it later. It doesn't have to happen now. I'm just making you aware of it. I noticed the thanks button shows up on the warning videos, but none of my others. So I'll talk to YouTube and find out why that's happening that way, but I suspect it has something to do with the way the copyright claim is applied. So enough about that. I try not to talk about this stuff. I try not even to ask, because I'm doing this for the music. I'm doing this for these musicians, like the warning, who don't need it, but who deserve to be promoted in any way, shape, or form we can do it, even if we're just a little 5 and dime channel on YouTube. So that's what I'd like to do. And I started out to do that for these Eastern bands because it's harder to break into the Western markets, especially if you're female and you're playing metal. It's not easy to break in. And I started it also because I love baby metal. I love what they do. I love why they do it. I love their unique position in the metal community. And, I started a series on that, and this weekend, episode 2 will drop for that. So hang in there. I love this. I listened to Dust to Dust once I realized it was on the album, studio cut. I love the way they do things in the studio. I mean, that was an outstanding sound to that song, outstanding mix, an outstanding song, period. It really hit me harder than it did on the live version. Not because the live wasn't good, or it was just different. It was different. But not by much, just enough to, I don't know if they smoothed some things out that weren't smooth, but God, it all sounded smooth to me, live or studio. So I can't tell the difference, but I've only listened to it once, but it really impressed me. So what I'm saying is, in the studio, I think they're going to really crush it, album after album. Whoever's doing their engineering is top level, top flight, top notch, all the tops. You know what I'm saying? Okay, all right, I've rambled enough. Thank you for watching. We're going to go through this album. If you have different ideas about that, put them in the comments. I want to thank all of you for the links you provide, for the information you give me. I wish I could shout out to every one of you, but we're starting to get enough comments that that's going to eventually be impossible to do, but I can still shout to some of you. And these links provided by Crash66 and Kevin the Truck Driver 353 gave us our show today. So thanks very much. I love you guys. Hang in there. Try not to get shopping fatigue. It's only Christmas. I love Christmas too, but remember to hang in there and keep your balance. All right? Okay. All right. I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.